Yes, guys, hello and welcome to your weekly segment of Statman and Robin. As you can see, I'm joined by my co-host, Adam. How are you today, Adam?
Doing good today, Nick. Excited about the weekend. Excited to see United play, and it's going to be in person. What about you? How are you doing?
I'm good. I just hope when you actually come over, we get a win, and it isn't a performance like the Leicester one, because that is the last thing you want if you're travelling to see a game. So yeah, I'm just fingers crossed for you. They put on a decent performance, and you can have a smile on your face when you leave Old Trafford.
Yeah.
But not many fans have been doing that recently. So
No.
I'll just say to you, don't hold your breath. But so on today's show, guys, we're going to be taking a look at some stats surrounding Norwich and Manchester United, as we do play them this weekend, of course. But before we do that, me and Adam wanted to dive into some topical stuff first. So the first one this is from James Ducker in the Telegraph. And it says, the brains behind the state-of-the-art Tottenham Hotspur Stadium have been handed the responsibility by Manchester United to redevelop Old Trafford, basically. Adam, I guess the question is this long overdue?
Oh, well overdue. It hasn't been updated at all since the Glazers have taken over in 2005, has it? I can't really remember.
It has, like, little things, but it's nothing to, like, rave about.
Like a wee plug in the roof.
Is that what it was? Covering changed.
Yeah.
Basically.
Their redevelopment. But no, this is pure positive news anyway. It's what we want to see. We have, it looks like they've given control of the whole transfers to the manager. We're redeveloping the stadium. Things look, it could be a PR spin just to get the fans, a bit happy given what's happening this weekend with certain protests happening. But like these guys, you've seen the job they've done at that Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's next level, and our facility should be even higher than that. So it's well overdue.
Yeah, the other, I remember doing the video outside Old Trafford, and there was a few options that they had. So one of them was to knock it all down and build a brand new state-of-the-art stadium, which will probably cost about £1 billion. So as you can imagine with the Glazers, that's probably the least favoured option. We've also got a 75k stadium, if you think about it, and there isn't a stadium in the Northwest who can facilitate that. So if we was to completely knock it down, I think we make about 4 million on match day revenue. So if we was to knock it down and then play somewhere else, we'd be losing out on a significant amount. So I can't see them doing that at all. I'll be amazed if they do that. Another option was to keep the infrastructure but modernise the spectator and corporate areas. This is one I'd probably go with, because then you get the best of both worlds. You get to keep that spirit of Old Trafford, but it looks a lot better and more modern visually. So that'd be my preferred option. I think one of the options as well was to extend the Sir Bobby Charlton stand up and over the railway line. And that'd take it above 80k, I think, but that'd also cost £400 million just doing that stand there. So yeah, it's one of them. I hope they make the right decision doing it. It's been, like we said then, it's been a long time coming. I don't know why they didn't do this years ago. Like, you look at either other teams like Leicester with their training facilities that they've got. It's Man City, when I have to go through that other side of Manchester, it isn't very often, I must say, but when I do, and I see like the way their stadium's set up, what they're doing in that community around the area, and the actual training facilities, they look incredible. Honestly, they look really good. And I had a proper look at it, because when I went to watch Soccer Aid, that was at the Etihad, so visually I could see everything. And yeah, unfortunately, Man City are doing it much better than we are at the minute, so they need to jump on that train. And yeah, let's see where that train takes us. Another bit of news that's come out today, and it's from the Daily Star, so you can definitely take this with a pinch of salt. Erik ten Hag has given the green light for Cristiano Ronaldo to leave Old Trafford, after making it clear he will not figure in his long-term plans at Old Trafford. What do you think about this, Adam? Obviously, as I said, then it's the Daily Star, so it's not like it's Romano or someone like that.
Well, let's be honest. Like, no matter what manager comes in, can Ronaldo be in his long-term plans? No, because he's 38, 37, 38.
Yeah, it's true.
It's impossible. Yes. So I don't know what the reporter is thinking there. Obviously, he's not going to be in his long-term plans because he signed a 3-year deal. The guy isn't going to be playing for us when he's 40. I say he'll stay again for another year. leave then, because it was a 2-year contract that he signed, wasn't it? And then who knows, he might go back to Sporting Lisbon then and end his career there. But I think he's going to stay just because it's Ronaldo at the end of the day. And like, we haven't really been that creative this season, and he's had to rely on a lot of scraps. So under this new manager, he's going to create a few chances, press high up the field, win the ball back quick. And Ronaldo's usually good, when he's almost not making a decision, when he just swings his foot at it. 9 times out of 10, they're going to go in. But yeah, I could write that Ronaldo's not going to be in Ten Hag's long-term plans, because he's going to be here for another year. That's it. Yeah. So it's impossible for him to be in his long-term plans.
The only thing with this is I feel like who's going to take him? Like, who's for the ways that he's on? That's why I think he's definitely going to be here for another year now, because he's on 500, 600k a week, something like that. Because obviously the actual transfer value we paid for him was 12 million, it suggested, something like that, to Juventus. So his wages are absolutely massive. So I can't see any other team. PSG, maybe. That's the only one I can think of. But can you imagine Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar? Like, obviously it sounds amazing on paper, like sounds incredible, but I don't think that'd work. I don't think it'd work. I think you'd have the same issues as you have with the front three now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know. What it probably is a journalist putting 2 and 2 together and getting 6. Like, he's found an angle to get a reaction out of United fans, and whatever that reaction may be, as long as he gets clicks on that, his job's done basically in his head. But yeah, if there is some truth in this, I wouldn't be mad about it at all, to be honest. I think Ronaldo at the age of 37 is only going to decline more and more, and probably get a bit more petulant as well on top of that. And I think we need something fresh and something new. And I think who I would suggest in that strike.
Well, if it means clearing that huge wage bill off, and then we can bring someone else in, because those probably Ronaldo's wages alone, knock that off the bill, will pay for a chunk of the fee for Nunes then.
Yeah, 100%.
There you go.
Yeah, and to be honest, the way United's probably looking at it, if I know what they're like, and I do, the board is probably starting thinking, well, Ronaldo, he gets us a lot of social interactions, and he brings his own sort of following on Instagram, 400 million. Imagine how many eyes that is on United's sponsors and all this kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. It increases revenue. It's great for everything on the business side of things. But really, if you're a United fan and you ask yourself truly and honestly to keep Ronaldo on for a bit longer now, is that really the direction we should be going in? We're bringing in a fresh manager with fresh ideas who's, he's got a great history of working with young, talented players. So I would much rather bring, as much as I love Ronaldo, and it was a romantic story at the start, it hasn't ended up like that, has it? Like, it started off like Romeo and Juliet, and it's ended like, I don't even know, I can't even think of a shit.
The end of Romeo and Juliet.
oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, to put it to a point. But yeah, I just feel like they need to go with fresh ideas now and switch it up. Like, you can't have a 37-year-old, maybe have him, if he wants to play 20 games, 15, 20 games, that's perfect. Because then Darwin Núñez can work alongside him. And then he becomes into his own role the year after when Ronaldo leaves. So I wouldn't mind that. But same time, if he was like, Ronaldo speaks to his agent, to Mendes, and says, right, I'm going. I don't know what you think, Adam, but I won't mind that at all.
If he wants to go, let him go then. As you said, I don't know what other club is going to pay these wages. It feels like PSG want to go down a new direction too, with obviously hiring a new, is it director of football? Yeah. So I think they're probably looking at Núñez too. They're losing Mbappe, probably the best young talent in the world, arguably the best footballer in the world, you could nearly argue. And because he's honestly something else when I seen him in person.
He's special. He's special.
Oh, he is. He's just different gravy. He is. And
just imagine Mbappe, Benzema, the form that he's in a minute, and Vinicius Junior. Like,
France have 2 out of the 3.
That's what I mean. France is like, I'd say now. Like, if you look at, like Wolves do with the way they have the scouting system set up in Portugal. Yeah. And they constantly bring these talents, Trincao, Pedence, Diego Jota, Coutinho, Neves, like, they've got loads. I think if I'm United now, I just set up a scouting network in France and just go down all the lower leagues around there, because gems like Kante and N'Golo Kante has been found from there, and there's obviously plenty others. There's loads of others that's been found there. Their squad depth in international football is the best in the world. It's ridiculous. So if I'm United, I'm setting up a scouting network there, isn't it?
Yeah, and hopefully Ragnick can make these kind of decisions because he does have an eye for young talent, and obviously he has scouts working for him, so he knows where to set up different scouting systems. And that's why I'm hoping, as you said, France is the perfect spot for young talent right now. The squad depth they have, as you said as well, it's something else. Probably their second team could challenge for the World Cup at this rate. That's it. Something.
There's 2 players from there as well who are on my wish list who I'd love to sign this summer. One of them's Chouamini and one of them's Nkunku as well, who's been mentioned of late. So if I had, like, let's just do very quickly an ideal transfer market, right? So you can have 4 signings that you can make. I'll go first. So I'd take Darwin Núñez from Benfica. I'd take, obviously this will never happen because it costs a lot of money, but I'd take Darwin Núñez from Benfica. I'd take Chouamini from Monaco. I'd take Nkunku from Leipzig. For who do we need? We probably need another midfielder. I'd say that Nkunku can play box to box. Yes, centre back. Oh, it's a tough one. That I don't know. There isn't outstanding centre backs. Young outstanding. Jules Koundé probably. But that's another French. That's another French player.
Exactly.
He'd bring in. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I'd go in Nkunku, Chouamini, Koundé, and Darwin Núñez. I think that would be. Yeah, I don't even think we'll get one of them. If I'm honest, maybe we'll be lucky to get one of them. But yeah, what about you? Top 4 targets that you'd love.
I really, really like Anthony. I do, just watching the odd Ajax game. I think he's something else, but he's going to cost a lot of money. Timber has been linked with us. Get some players that Ten Hag has worked with, so they're kind of clued in already to the system. Then the players around them can kind of get used to it. Then, so I'd have them too. Yeah. I've been warming up to the idea of Nkunku as well. If Hogg was leaving, a midfielder, he can play. Number in a false 9 too. Kind of what we're seeing when we don't have a striker. Like instead of playing Bruno there. He can also play just in that position, probably next to Bruno, where if he was to go there, he scores, he assists, his stats this season are crazy. Chouamini, I've been a big, massive fan of for so long. We've gone through his stats before on this show, back when we were doing it on Instagram. He's a very special talent. He is up there with the best stats-wise in all of Europe, up with Declan Rice. Forget who else we compared, but he's right up there. And then striker. I know I'm kind of going down the same route as you, but who else is there already? Núñez. Who else?
Yeah, especially at the minute. Jonathan David's one, but he's not exactly pulling up trees at the minute. He's a good player, but still a bit rough around the edges. I can't think off the top of my head at the moment. So I think I've heard we're looking at Richarlison. What do you think about
that? You see, I was kind of iffy about it. I thought he was a lot older than he actually was. He's only 24, I believe, 24, 25. So he's at mid-20s, probably 2-3 years' time, he'll be in his prime then. And under a proper coach, like he's been chopped and changed the whole time at Everton. And he's two-footed player. He's tall, he's fast, he's skillful. He's quite a good player, and I reckon we've seen Ten Hag what he done with Sebastian Haller at Ajax. Took him when he wasn't performing that well, made him one of the most clinical strikers in Europe and in the Champions League as well. So maybe he could do that with the likes of Richarlison.
Yeah, it's a great point you make about that, actually, because these are the type of signings, if they're going to make, a lot of people are going to be, because it's not the obvious signing, people are going to throw the dummies out and say, what are you getting with Charles from Everton who are being relegated and blah, blah. But when I did the opposition opinion with my mate Alex, and we was chatting about Richarlison, and he was saying if he had a gun to his head now, and he said Richarlison or Calvert-Lewin, he'd keep Richarlison, just because they're like the commitment, the work rate. He's their main player for them who drags them through. Even in the game against us, like he was just everywhere, all over the pitch. And I think that would suit a Ragnick system, and I think it would suit a Ten Hag system as well. So I'm not actually against the idea of it. It's just the one thing Alex mentioned to me was he's a little bit inconsistent. So yeah, we obviously have issues with that ourselves throughout our team, don't we? So yeah, that's one to sit on and think. But they were the two names that were mentioned: Darwin Núñez and Richarlison. They were thinking about in a minute. So hopefully they go with Núñez, but Richarlison, yeah.
If Everton get relegated, could be a cheap one.
Well, yeah, maybe there's a clause in his contract suggesting that. I'm not sure, but same with
probably never even thought of that.
Yeah, they were saying that about Rafinha as well. That if he gets relegated, it was something like 30 million you could snap him up for. But then you've got agent fees and wages and shit. So, yeah, that is the topical stuff out of the way. With a unplanned transfer thing. So always fun. Onto the main part of the show, guys, where me and Statman bring some statistical data to your attention. And on this week's episode, we are going to be taking a closer look at Norwich and United. So there's a few I've got here, Adam, that might shock you. I don't know if you want to go through yours first or if you want me to throw up some of mine. Completely up to you.
Well, what I have is I'm Norwich this season and Man United as well as their head-to-head record overall since they first met each other. Okay. So do you want me to go through the team stats first, or do you want to go through certain players? Okay, so this season, head-to-head, I'll go first. Man United have 41 wins. Norwich have 17 wins, and there's been 15 draws in the fixture to date. And this season, Manchester United are 17th in the league, as we know. 14 wins, 9 draws, 8 losses, and sitting on 51 points. Norwich, bottom of the league, 5 wins, 6 draws, and 20 losses, 21 points. So we have 30 more points than them this season. And then I'm going to break down the total stats for the entire season. Total matches, 31. We both played 31. Norwich have scored 20 goals. We have 49. Goals conceded, 63. We have 42. And then going into their attack and play, goals per game, 0.6. So less than a goal per game for Norwich. We average 1.6 per game. Conversion rate, 7% for Norwich and 11% for us. Both teams have had 3 penalties. Norwich have scored all 3. As you know, Bruno missed against Villa. I think there was a last-minute penalty. But we have 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. Big chances per game, 0.8 for Norwich and 2.3 for us. So that's quite a big difference. Nearly, threefold times?
Yeah, the issue is we just can't finish our chances, can we? At all. Yeah. I mean, we create them, but we've been awful at finishing this. The Watford game was like the most frustrating game. That is like, if you want to look at a game and it's easily like, what's a game where they create a shitloads of chances, they're all over him, but they don't score 1 goal? Watford. Go back and watch the Watford game, and that is it.
And that's why I'm a bit worried a little bit for this fixture as well against the team in the relegation zone. They're just going to sit back, defend, let's be honest. And, you know, when it's not your day, I'm hoping it's not one of those days like, as I said there, the Watford game, because it might be a very long day then.
Yeah, exactly.
Big chances missed per game, 0.6, 1.5 for us. So we're missing more than 1 big chance per game. And it's been evident this season. Under Ralph Ragnick, we created the most chances in the league since he's come in, and we've probably missed the most big chances since then as well. So for me, I know Ralph has got it wrong at times, but it's not being all on the coach. This season alone, I blame the players. It's all been on the players. Yeah. Total shots per game, 9.9 for Norwich, 13.9 for us. Shots on target per game, 2.9 for them, and we average 5. Successful dribbles per game, 7.7 and 10 for us. Corners per game, 4.4 for them and 5.3 for us. Doesn't matter. What's the point in us getting corners? We do nothing anyway with them, do we? Yeah. And we've hit the woodwork. They've hit the woodwork 7 times. We've hit it 9 times. So that's just a quick summary of their attacking stats. I can go into their...
Sorry to interrupt you there, Adam. The one that sticks out to me was the goals conceded. So they conceded, was it 63? And we conceded 40... How many? 42. Yeah, I know you can look at it and say it's 20 goals, but to concede 40-odd goals, that is a lot. Mm-hmm. That is a lot. I'd love to know what either Man City's or Liverpool's was, or even Chelsea, even though, I'd love to see what theirs was.
Yeah, and that's why they're up near the top of the league, because I think was it Sir Alex Ferguson said your defense wins you titles, and our defense has been shocking this season, and it's why we're nowhere near competing. Then we go into the ball possession. Norwich average 42.8. We average 53.3%. Accurate passes per game, 290 for them, which is 76.8%. 413 for us, which is 82.4%. Now we go into the defending stats. Clean sheets, 6 for Norwich, 7 for us.
Oh, this is hell.
This is bottom of the league, God. Norwich, and we only have one more clean sheet than them. That's horrendous.
Ridiculous.
Honestly, a joke. Goals conceded per game, two for them and 1.4 for us. So we're averaging more than
I bet as well, Adam. Harry Maguire is worth their full defence probably 4 times over or something ridiculous. I bet if you look at how much Norwich paid for their defenders, I bet Maguire's worth about 3 times as much as him.
And I'd probably take Henley over.
Yeah, at a minute. Yeah, probably. Oh, well, we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah, we will. Tackles per game, 15.9 for them and 15.4 for us. Interceptions per game, 10.1, 8.3 for us. Clearances per game, 22.5, 16.8 for us. Saves per game, 3.6 for them, 3.5 for us. So
3.6 for them.
Yeah. Yeah,
3.5 for us. 3.5. Yeah, so that's identical in it pretty much.
Yeah, so I think we pointed it out earlier in the season. De Gea made the most saves in the league. He did, him and Fabianski, I think it was. And since then, I think he's been overtaken. It might be by the Brighton keeper, but our goalkeeper was being tested more times than relegation teams. That's why usually the top for most saves in the league is always the bottom 3 goalkeepers, because they have to deal with the most shots taken on them, and that's why they're in that position. But
the main issue with that is we've got 2 wing backs on the right hand side who no one knows. Well, Dallow's the better option at the moment. He's the most improved on the Rangnick, but he's not the finished article. So no one knows what's happening there. You've got a centre back partnership which is non-existent. You never have any consistency in there, so it's hard to develop a team without no sort of chemistry or patterns in there. It's either Maguire and Lindelof or Maguire and Varane or Varane and Lindelof. Like Varane and Lindelof looked like the best partnership at the time, didn't they? That looks like it was going to blossom very nice. For some reason, well, football politics, I think we know, but that hasn't been sorted. And then the left-hand side, you've got Telles now, who's arguably ahead of Shaw, but he still has his defensive kind of things where you're like, I'm not entirely sure. So there's uncertainty throughout the full back line, and you can't have that in the Premier League. It can't happen. That is your core. That's where the platform where you start from. De Gea is great, amazing at shot stopping, but that's the main reason for it, innit? If we was to look at it.
Exactly, yeah. And you see every other top teams back 4. They have their set of 4. Look at Liverpool. You have Trent, you have Van Dijk, Matip, and Robertson. That's their best 4. There's no argument about anyone else coming in. Maybe Konate, but he's not at the level of Matip right now. City, they might, mix between 1 or 2 centre backs to have that.
They can do that because they've got world class players, isn't it?
Exactly. And then, for me, I absolutely love Cancelo. I think he's great modern fullback, both good defensively and offensively. He can play on the right, he can play on the left. Kind of, it might sound a wee bit controversial, a wee bit like Dennis Irwin. He could play anywhere.
Yeah. I was looking at stats for City before when we did a preview for the game. Yeah. And Cancelo was first on almost everything for them. That's how influential he is. And another thing that I want to bring to the attention as well was when I was looking at, so in that City game when they played Liverpool, I was looking at pass percentage. So with Kyle Walker, Cancelo, Trent, and whoever, was it Robertson who played as well? So I was looking at all 4 of them, and all of them had around 75 to 80% pass accuracy. Wan-Bissaka in that game against Everton had 59% pass accuracy. So that's what, and we know these days with how much of an influence the wing backs have, they're like one of the creators now, aren't they? They're becoming like the playmakers.
Yep.
Look at Trent, that ball he did. Was it to Jota? I think either against City or Benfica, I can't remember, but that ball he did was unbelievable. The outside of the football, Cancelo did to Sterling in behind. Like, can you imagine Wan-Bissaka ever doing that? It would never happen.
No, 100% wouldn't happen. And that's why I think we actually need one good fullback. Even if it's on one side, it doesn't matter. Just try and solve that problem, because right now, I know Dalo's coming into the fold of things now. He's looking promising. Hopefully, Ten Hag can get the best out of him and develop him into a good fullback. But right now, at the moment, we don't have anyone. You could argue in the top, every team ahead of us has better fullbacks than us. I don't think it's much of an argument, really.
Yeah, and I think when Ten Hag comes in, again, his build-up play, the wing-backs are very important because they drop in to create that third man, like the pyramid, and then that's how they sort of pattern it to build up. And so that means, they'll have to be really good on the ball if they're going to do that. And that's why I think Dalot for sure will be the right back under Ten Hag, unless he brings someone else in.
Exactly, 100%. I agree with that, because Wan-Bissaka, as we know, a bit similar to Fred, as in his second touch is always a tackle.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So then going on, like duels won per game, 49.7, which is 48.6% for Norwich, 49.1 for us, and 50.3% success rate. Ground duels won 35.5, so 50% for them, 33.8, which is 48.3% for us. Aerial duels won 14.2 for Norwich, which is 45.5%. 15.3 for us, which is 55.5%. Then possession loss per game, 137.4 times, 138.3 for us. And then offsides per game, 1.7, 2.2 for us. Feels like Rashford is forever offside this season.
Yeah, he'll be the main part of that. I think Ronaldo is as well quite a lot. Ronaldo's offside quite a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, them two are definitely pulling that average up quite high.
100%.
Fouls per game, 9.5 for them, 10.5 for us. So we commit more fouls than a relegation team.
Discipline,
bit of a worry.
Lack of discipline. That shows again.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yellow cards per game, 1.5 for them, 2 for us. And that concludes them
again,
team stats.
Discipline. Yeah. All comes down to that. If that concludes your team stats, Adam, are we okay jumping into the Maguire versus Hanley?
Yeah, I'm interested to hear these.
Right, okay. So, I've got them up here, bear with me a second. So, appearances, both made 26 appearances. Both have 1 goal. Duels won. Who do you think's won more duels?
Total duels, is it?
Yeah, just duels won. It is.
I'd probably say Hanley, is it? Yeah, I probably would, just because Hanley. I know how bad Maguire is.
Yeah, so Maguire's got 116, Hanley's got 143 duels won. So he's got, an extra 18 or something like that. Is it 20? My maths is so bad there. 27. Extra 27, I think. Yeah. Clean sheets, they both got the exact same. It says there 6 each. Passing accuracy, Maguire's, that's the only one that Maguire's ahead on, is passing accuracy. So 86%. And Hanley's got 82%. And then you go into tackles won. Maguire's got 17. Hanley's got 21. So that is the standard. That's just one little bit where you look at it and think, that's the standard he's been at. Norwich, bottom of the table. That's how poor he's been, and that's not over exaggerating. He's actually been that bad. I don't know if there's any coming back from this. I really don't. I know a lot of people are saying when Ten Hag comes in, he will use him. I think first and foremost they'll have to use him, because I don't think United will sell him. I don't think they'll sanction it where they say, you can just get rid of him, in my opinion. Maybe he'll take the captaincy off him. That might happen, but I don't see a way back for him because especially with Ten Hag's system. I know we keep saying it, but it's a very risky system that he plays, and you have these centre backs making vertical runs. They have him being brave on the ball, coming out. So, and we know what Maguire's like. He gets picked off. Picked off so many times. So, yeah, it's a bit worrying with that. But we'll have to wait until the summer to see. It was another stat. So I had the head-to-head, but I had it so recently, basically. You did the one of overall, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm guessing this is since maybe just the start of the Prem. Yeah. Just the start of the Prem. So 19 played. We've won 15. They've won 3. We've won 7 at home. They've won 2 at home. We won 8 away, and they've won 1 away. So you're looking at that, and you're thinking it's playing into all the stats are leaning towards us, aren't they? You're looking at it, you're thinking, right, surely we're going to win this, aren't we? This is what it's looking like. We've got a bit of noise in the background there.
Do we?
Yeah. Do you not hear that?
No.
It's not now. I think someone's just coming in something. Say hello to your family. So the head-to-head, past 5 games, we've beaten 4 times. So this is more recent, of course, and then they have beat us once. So everything's looking in our favour. But we were saying this before the Everton game, weren't we? We were saying all this, saying like, they've had minus 20 goals conceded. They've got battered by Palace 4-0. They got battered by Spurs. They're the most out of form team in the league. We was prepping it all up, and everyone was like, okay. And then we got beat 1-0 by Everton and didn't even score a goal against them. So I'm not even. I know we've got the preview tomorrow and stuff, but I'm not like excited for the game because I watched that Leicester game and that was shocking, absolutely shocking. I've got another stat here. Bear with me a sec. So. I don't know if I think you've already done these ones actually. Chances created. Did you do chances created per match?
I think I did. Yeah, I had shots. So I didn't actually have chances. No.
So chances created per match, we have 1.87. They have 0.61. Our biggest win was 5-1 over Leeds, and their biggest win was 3-0 over Watford, another team that we couldn't beat, and we got slapped 4-1 by them. So, let me bring up some more stats. I've just got like a cluster of stats here. So, Dean Smith's record at Norwich is pretty shit, to be honest. But what can you do with that team, really?
Exactly.
It's
you're a dead man walking.
Pretty much, yeah. It's one of them. 31 games, won 7, drew 5, lost 19, which is tough. Goal difference 29 to 57, it says. I'm not sure what that's all about, but yeah, another start to sort of make it look like this is going to be easy, but it's a weird one. Another one for Ralph Rangnick. So this came out after the Everton game. I'm pretty sure you've seen this, Adam, but it says Ralph Rangnick is statistically the worst manager in Manchester United's Premier League history. Saturday's 1-0 defeat at Everton was his 17th game in charge. United have won just 8 of those games, giving Rangnick an EPL win percentage of 47.06 percentage. Yeah, and people look at that from outside looking in and say, it's Ralph, it's this, blah blah. It's not. It's the players. We know it's the players. They have.
Have we seen it? How many draws do we have in those games? It's actually probably ridiculous, the amount of draws.
Which could have easily been converted if they finish the chances. I know I sound like a broken record saying that, or we sound like a broken record saying that, but it's true, isn't it? They could have finished so many of them chances and would be such a better position now. Even Ronaldo, when he was going through that bad patch I'm not just blaming it all on him, by the way, but when he was going through that bad patch in December and January, we were just missing stuff, and he was like, how the fuck has Ronaldo missed that? Of all people, how has he missed that? And then
I remember a chance against Southampton, he dribbled past the keeper on his left foot and he missed. Open goal. I remember that.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. That was the same game where that Broha bullied Maguire, if you remember it, and Maguire fell over his own feet. Yeah. So it's the players, by the way, guys, not the manager. I will say, however, the system he set us up in, that 4-2-2 at the start, was very open. And I've gone back to the game against Norwich, so the first leg, and I've got a few stats from there which shows that. So Norwich had 11 shots, we had 13. They had 5 shots on target, we had 5 shots on target. They had 47% possession. We had 53. They had 440 passes. We had 501. They had a pass accuracy of 77%. We had 81%. We had 17 fouls. They had 6. Both had 1 yellow card as well. They had 8 corners. We had 6. So the game was pretty even at Carroll Road. I don't know if you remember that game. It's when Ronaldo scored. But them in the second half, the second half, they was all over us. And they could have easily got a goal. Like, I remember the crowd being really behind him. So we know what it's like at the minute. Like when United comes to town, the teams just turn up. It just is what it is. Like we don't have that fear factor anymore. Yeah, we don't have a fear factor anymore. You've got the fans that are all behind it because it's United, one of the biggest teams in the world, and they're all excited because they're thinking we could actually get something from them. If they watch the Watford game when they slapped us 4-1, we've got Burnley have beat us. Teams down at the bottom of the table have beat us before and nicked points off us. So why should it be any different going into this game? Like, can you see it playing out any different?
Well, I just look at their stats.
Let's get an early prediction from you as well, Adam. But carry on with what you were saying.
Yeah, just looking at their stats, they don't create much, but you pointed out those stats from the fixture previous one, and they were creating more than their average chances per game against us, which says everything. We have changed systems since going back to the 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, whatever you want to call it. And we have looked better, but I can see us. I reckon we are going to be the dominant team again. I can see it being. I'm hoping it's not another Watford. I think we can probably get 2. I think we'll get 2 goals, 3 goals. I can see it. Yeah, I'm feeling a little confident. Maybe it's just because I'm going, but trying to hype myself up for it. But
you've got that mindset, aren't you, going into it?
Yeah, but I'm just hoping we can actually get it because it's been that long, probably since we got a win. How long has it been? Is it 3 weeks? Must be before the international break, which was 2 weeks. So, when's the last time we had a win, Nick?
I'm trying to think now. Oh God, when was it?
This is bad.
Why can I not remember? I think we beat someone 1-0. I just can't remember off the top of my head. Let me have a look.
But West Ham, last minute.
Oh no, that was ages ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Why have I not got? I've not even got United playing. We have.
Spurs. Was it Spurs?
Yeah, Spurs. When Ronaldo scored a hat trick. That was the last time. Drew against Leicester. Lost against Everton. Lost against Man City. Drew against Watford. We've won 1 in our last 5. And then that's not even including Champions League when we went out to Atletico Madrid. So
yeah,
it's been bad at it recently. It's been really bad. Like I try not to remind myself when you go look back at games and you just like, oh my God. Sometimes when you do this analysis and you have to go back and look at errors like defensive, like I did with Maguire and other ones with keepers, you're like, oh man, we are so bad. We are so bad. I remember I had to go back through the Atletico Madrid game, the first fixture, when I was doing analysis for the second game, and I had to watch that shit show back again. Obviously when Elanga scored, but the rest of that, the whole team is so bad. Oh God! So that's why I'm going to give an early prediction. I'm just going to say it's going to be a draw. I hope it's not. I hope it's not because you go in, and I know obviously it's you want it to be a good weekend and you want to walk out to Old Trafford with a smile on your face. So I hope we win. But yeah, I'm done with fantasizing about United now, like smashing teams, because it doesn't happen unless it's Leeds. It doesn't happen, does it?
No, it's just we have hope, but it's false hope at this rate. I've kind of wrote off this season now. I've just accepted. It's weird because we keep telling ourselves, oh, we're not going to get top 4, whatever. We're not. But then Arsenal lose and give us a chance every time. We can't capitalize on our rivals around us dropping points. It happens every time. And we went back there, last 5 games, 1 win. And it was against then our rivals as well, but it didn't matter in the end since we dropped points here and there. So, yeah. It's not, I don't know why I'm feeling confident.
Yeah, it's not. You have to have that mindset, though. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But just going back to what you were saying then, it's not Arsenal who worry me. It's just it's
No.
Spurs who worry me under
Yeah.
Conte at the minute. Like, I thought that was the perfect window to get Conte in, or when the international break, we just got battered off City, was it? Dominated off City, the international break come, and then we had Watford in the next game. In that international break, I was saying on United Stand Live when I was doing them, I was saying we need to get Conte in because he is a disciplined guy who's going to come in and he will tear shit up, and some of these players will have the shock of their life. And the board won't do it because they knew. And we even heard recent rumours, didn't we, Adam, that some of the players vetoed it, as you said in yesterday's show. So that tells you everything you need to know about Manchester United. Absolute shit show in a minute.
And that was at the time Woodward was CEO as well. He's gone since, so hopefully it's like it's a new dawn, it's a new day.
Exactly, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Yeah,
fingers crossed. That'll be next season.
Yeah, well, hopefully when Ten Hag gets his boots under the table, and obviously hopefully boots under Maguire's ass and kicks him out the door as well. Fingers crossed. Can't see it happening now, but thank you for joining me, Adam. This show has absolutely flew by. Always great to bring up some statistics and let the guys know who's watching, what's going on and where we're at. So yeah, cool. I appreciate your time very much, brother. So for anyone who's watching, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go check out all our videos on there. We've recently did the Real Reds Talk Rehab, which is an absolute, like, we hardly got through it without laughing in it. Like, it was, we just throughout the whole thing. Both of us were in absolute tears pretty much. So make sure you go check that one out because it's a really good watch. And I mean that genuinely. And then, so we've got the match preview tomorrow, Norwich versus United, where we'll get predictions, all that kind of stuff. And then match day on Saturday as well. So as always, loads of content. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, comment, like, share, all that good stuff. And follow us on socials. Just type in Real Reds Talk on TikTok, Insta, Twitter, anything like that. Any final thoughts, Adam, to see us off?
It's just as you say. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow us on everything. And let's get into it. There's going to be a surprise on Sunday. I'll be delivering something to Harry Maguire. So just keep an eye out for that. Yeah, tune in for that one, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, Adam. Bye, guys. See you guys.